Hi, everybody. Rajith here, and you are with One Illumined Heart. So, you see this grid picture here. I promised you that I would share with you what a grid looks like. So, the first time I saw a grid was in 1994 when I saw literally this pattern over a client that I had. And I was mesmerized by what I saw. And then I saw details of information inside those little boxes. So, in this particular picture, this is by the famous artist Alex Gray. I have several of his posters, they're really wonderful. And if this person were sitting in front of us, it would be a saint. Because if you can see here, this being is full of light. So, we would call this an illumined being full of light with no karma, no give and take, no seeds that have been sown that need to be harvested, both good and bad. So it shows the picture of the embodiment of the person with an energy field that is very clear and white, with a golden halo over the top, which means that they're really awake and fully illumined. You can see the circles here. That's the root chakra, second chakra, solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, and the chakra of the pituitary gland at the very top, the pineal gland. And then, of course, we have many, many chakras up above, but we're not talking about those today. But I wanted you to see what a grid picture looks like, and wanted you to also know that each one of us, as I saw on the person that was in my office, has this, we have these cubes of information of who we are. So maybe we are um, a hologram. I'm not sure. I don't know about that. But anyway, this is what it is. And we have an energy field that we have in our own personal grid. We also have the grid that is connected to our family members, our local community, the country that we live in, the earth that we're in, and the earth that is connected to the solar system, and the solar system connected to the universe. So there is this incredible connection that source has created for all of us to be connected to the all that is, the everything. And I think that's where that phrase comes from, because when I see things in places where I see the divine connection or the creator's connection. I don't know. I don't want to alienate people with language, with semantics. So some people use the word God, some people use the word creator, some people use the word Allah, some people use the word Yahweh, some people use many different words for God. There's beautiful words for God, source, creator, creation. So I just want you to know I welcome it all. But I wanted you to see this because for you to know that you are in one of these systems. You have that around you, whether you see it or not, whether you're aware of it or not. Other people who can see grid systems can see this. And you are connected in infinity with all of creation. So I wanted to show you this so that you could also understand when I say that if this person were in front of us, it would be like a saint, a fully illumined being, because you don't see any markings in there. It's just pure light coming through that being. Now, as you and I grow in our frequencies, we start to emit more and more and more light. We hold more light moving through us energetically and in our consciousness. But most of us have markings on the parts of our body as well as in our energy fields saying where things are trapped or stuck that need healing, that need releasing, that need forgiving, etc. So know that you are part and parcel of this creation, and Alex Gray was able to depict it in the most gorgeous way. So I'm very grateful to him for being able to do that. So let's talk today about frequencies. What are they? So humanity has been in third dimensional frequency. We always talk about everything being in 3D. And up until 2005, we were in third dimensional thinking frequency on a whole. After 2005 became the opening of moving into fifth dimensional frequency, where we moved more consciously toward a greater love. Now, there are many people who are already beyond 5D. There are many people who've moved into beyond 5D, as well as were already higher than 5D when 5D opened up, because they've done a lot of spiritual work to get there. So let's talk about what these frequencies are. They're measurements of resonance of spiritual acuity, spiritual accomplishments, and the ability to hold love. So on the physical level, I guess I'm looking at my notes. On the physical level, we have people in frequencies currently on the planet in fifth dimensional frequencies, sixth and seventh. People who are in the more astral, or have done more of their spiritual work, or have done lots of lives and have already earned being up higher, they are in 8th, 9th, and 10th dimensional frequency. That's in the astral. When we get to the 11th through the 15th, this is the grand activation within the portal of fifth dimensional frequency that I talked about in the other video, which opens up on April 25th, 2020, with the anchoring of Jupiter and Pluto on April 4th and 5th, kind of like, literally like an anchor for the gateway to be opened. So, in fifth dimensional frequency, in that realm, that new co-creation that we're going to be having, the frequencies are called, we said, physical and astral, and they gave me the name on the inside today, and it's called Radist. Radist is the name for the resonant frequencies within 5D that humanity will move into. So with more spiritual work, with more love, with more whatever it's going to take, we will be moving 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Now, humanity at this point, the majority of humanity is at 68% between 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensional frequency. The rest of us are up higher in 8th, 9th, 10th, or up higher. I have only known people outside of a saint who have been up to level 13. So apparently we're going to be moving up higher, but that's probably going to take some work that we'll find out as we go down the road. So souls will grow within 5D into those higher frequencies, and they're all based on love. Okay, what does it mean to hold a higher frequency? It means that our bodies can literally hold more light. It has to do with how much forgiveness we've been able to do, how much selfless service that we've done for the planet, for animals, for humans, how much devotional time we've put in prayer, mantra work, etc. Also, have we cleaned and cleared up issues with other people in this dimension, the one that you're living in right now, or in other dimensions and past lives, if you believe in them, or in parallel lives. I don't know exactly how the whole universe is set up, but I have seen parallel lives. I have seen past lives. So it's about, have you cleared up those judgments? Have you cleared up the condemnations and maybe curses on other people for how they've hurt you? How some things may have been unforgivable because of a really horrendous betrayal of some sort. All those things, regardless of where we are, need to be cleaned up. They need to be brought to neutral, to balance. And I've had to do that in my life with all of my past lives. The higher the frequency you are, the higher your intuition becomes, the more that you become connected to your own truth, to your own amazing self, and you become more receptive to your own divine energy and or that of source or creation. And so it becomes easier to love others. There's a capacity to forgive that's big. It's also much easier for you to share compassion, to see what it feels like to walk in someone else's moccasins, as the Indians say, and to see things from another person's perspective. So that is about frequencies and the grid. So now the next question is, how do we raise our frequency? We covered that slightly in the very long 30-minute video I just did earlier. So first of all, we have to have a reverence for life. That is one of the things that is absolutely paramount. A reverence for life, the ability to hold love, and remaining conscious in your heart and of the spiritual nature of who you are, the spiritual nature of what is around you. The other thing that's important is meditation. We know that meditation helps to raise people's frequency. It helps them connect quietly with their own higher self and that of source, wherever it is that we've come from. The other part is people who do prayers as devotional work. It's very important that when you pray that your presence, your love, heart energy is fully committed in the prayers, that you're not just doing rote prayers, because that's empty. There's nothing there. You're just repeating words. So rote prayers are wonderful, but if they're imbued with your love, with your commitment to what it is the words mean, then they have power. Then they can move your dormant, latent energy of being asleep out of there and make you more awake and more connected. Okay, the other one is beginning to honor yourself and source. You are part of a divine creation, or a creation that source has created. Honoring that you are not above and beyond anything, that you are part of the whole. You are part of the matrix of what makes our planet. Your presence is important. Everyone has a purpose. Beginning to honor that with yourself and with others is supremely important. Okay, the honoring can also be from your religious training. It doesn't matter what your religious background is. The divine doesn't care. What anybody or anything or the energy cares about is, how committed are you? Are you speaking it just with words? Or is there action behind what it is that you're doing? What level of commitment do you have to being who you are, to sharing love, to having compassion, to being there for your brothers and sisters, and for life on the planet? Okay. The other thing is, prayer recitations are another path. Some people have prayer recitations, and I remember when I said earlier that it's important not to just do them by rote, but to have your presence underneath and connected to those words is vitally important. And saying those recitations with gratitude and love in your heart for who it is you are and everything that you have. Some people don't just, they call prayers mantras. Some are prayerful hymns that come in that of any and all religions. And so sometimes it's very helpful to use specific prayers, specific mantras, specific hymns to bring healing to yourself and to help raise your frequency. Also reading spiritual texts, the Bible, the Book of Islam, Hindu scriptures, Tibetan scriptures, Buddhist scriptures, Sufi scriptures, scriptures that I'm not familiar with, Catholic, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It is, when you read the spiritual text, are you doing it again rote? Are you just reading words? Or are you committed to what is being said? Are you willing to let it drink into your being so that you can come to a cellular understanding of what it is that you are reading, what it is that you are listening to, how it is that you can integrate the words, the ideas of what you're reading into your daily life and practicing it into your daily life, all with love and with devotion. And lastly, one thing that I was taught early on was to have gratitude. Gratitude for all that you are and all that you have. And my spiritual teacher said, in one of his discourses that if all you have is your naked body, then you say thank you to Source, the divine, for your beautiful naked body. That's where you start. You have the very breath of life, which is what we need to have a life. So then if you have your physical body and the breath of life, if you have clothes, you can be grateful for your clothes. If you have water, you be grateful for the water. If you can find food, we're grateful for the food. And the list goes on. If you have a home, if you have a loved one, if you have children, if you have friends, if you have a job, if you have work that you love, all of it means something. If you have energy to share with others, that's also something to be grateful for. And if other people if you're in a stage of life where either you're ill or you're young or you're elderly and you need help, if you can be grateful for that which is coming from others to serve you, that is a bountiful way to get your meditations going, to get your frequency risen, so that you can hold more light, more love. So today's video is about the grid, about what frequencies are, and how do we raise these frequencies. All right, so I am done with the video for right now, but I'd like to, in every video, leave you with a little bit of a prayer at the end here in the new light language that has been downloaded into me. In 5D, as I said in the other video, we are going to learn 3 new languages based on love. We will learn all of them. There will be no separation for humanity to understand one another, because we will know all the languages. So together, let's take a moment and center. Take a big breath of love and life into your body. Connect with your higher self. Give permission for the information you've heard, if you've appreciated it or want to understand it better, to come into your cells, into your energy field. Let it begin to percolate there. I'd like you all to breathe royal blue light around you and let it run through you. Royal blue equals the consciousness of God or the divine, connected to the human soul. When we choose to connect with that, we can choose to connect with the power that Source or Creator has given us, the love that is there and the wisdom that is there. So to daily make a choice to connect with that color, to breathe it in, and to allow it all around you. And so here comes the prayer in the light language. Ono moso ati etu katayana moso ai mana toto somo keopata atata kayono motuai esonomo ayamata kayoso e maya toto mena ete kayana omoto soai otu mana oto asai pata. So that was just a prayer of thanksgiving, of honoring your presence, honoring the God in each of you. Thank you, and namaste from One Illumined Heart.